Okay, so today I wanted to talk about how to maintain sewing for long periods of time without your foot controller heating up, and some of the things I've tried with varying degrees of success. Okay, so some of you may have seen my previous video where I installed a one-way diode and a switch so that it was possible to just lower the voltage going to the motor, and that helps a lot with slowing down your machine, and it certainly helps with keeping the controller from getting as hot. But even still, there were a few occasions where I couldn't get the machine to be as slow or as reliable as I wanted, depending on which machine, of course. Some of them varied. However, I decided to try something else out, and I wanted to show you some of what I have come up with. So the first thing is, I got a new one of these Kenmore cables off of eBay, ordered it, and where the foot controller goes, I just installed a standard two-prong socket. And what that allows me to do is to put a typical male socket, male plug, on the end of a foot controller and then just plug it in and away we go. But what it also allows me to do is, I created this extension lead, which you can just plug in if you want, and it has the magic switch to lower the voltage to one way on it, so I don't have to install this on every single foot controller because that is ugly and it becomes a bit of a pain. So if I want it, I can just plug it in, and then I just plug the foot controller into the other end, and then I've got that. That's one thing. The second solution I've come up with is a bit bulky. I would like certainly to come up ultimately with a more streamlined solution. I thought perhaps a lamp dimmer was smaller, or also I've seen fan controllers which have 1, 2, and 3, but what I wanted was perfect precision, so I opted for an electrical dimmer switch, which I've just put in a plastic box, secured the cables inside, and as you can see, I have a female plug on this end and a male plug on this end. So if I need it, I can just plug it in between the foot controller, and it will work as well with the voltage controller if I so need. But ultimately, though a bit bulky because it's on a long cable, I can put it on the floor and not have to worry about it. So I thought today it would be fun to just show you how this works, and what I'm going to do is use this controller, this 1030 machine, just to show you the speed control I'm able to get with this contraption and the two different foot controllers I have here, one being digital, electronic, and one being the old mechanical. I have to admit that I have had better success with these than with these. However, that's just the way of it. So the first thing I'll do is I will plug this in, and we are powered up already, so you can see there. And I've taken, there is no foot here, so I can just run this without any issues, and I will just demonstrate the speed. So off we go. So just for simplicity's sake, I will start with the electronic foot controller. It just plugs in like this. You still have access to the switch, so you have to know. I haven't marked it, I just did this yesterday to see. Yeah, we have these. So there, you can see that's the maximum speed I can attain with the dimmer switch set. So if I put it up to full tilt, that's it, fast. And what I can do is, and this is where I found this foot controller a little bit of a pain because it was hard to get the exact speed, but I can get it slow enough to allow free motion embroidery, because you need that level of control. But what I found with this particular type of digital controller is because it's designed for a 1.5 volt machine, it tends to be a bit on and off. There's sort of no in between the speeds, it just blasted. So this really did allow me to to slow down the machine enough to where I could actually do all of the sewing I needed. So if I wanted that the maximum speed, that's the maximum speed. So I can largely use it, but as you see, you just get sort of maximum speed. But to slow it down, it does help, it does work. So I can get a more in-between speed with this. But it's not 100% as good control as I would like. You know, that's okay, but you sort of get everything. So I'm not that thrilled with that experience. I have tried other electronic controllers with mixed results as well. I have to admit, though these heat up, they do work better. And they might not be as efficient because they're giving off heat. However, they continue to work better for this design. So let's switch foot controllers and go to the old rheostat type. Okay, so we'll unplug this one. And we'll plug this one in. And now I have I haven't taken this off yet, so I have this one on here still. Okay, so we've got this plugged in. And you can see you get quite a lot of control. And it's possible to slow it down as well using this. You can get a full range of control if you want. So I like this solution a lot. It really does enable a perfect balance of control all through the speeds. So I like this a lot better. And with these two parts combined, you can lower the voltage and restrict the voltage. So you can half the voltage using this and restrict the voltage using this. And the foot controller is way, way, way less likely to overheat. So this is only a 1 amp foot controller, and this machine is a 1 amp machine, so they work very well together. And it's less likely to overheat, but if you do 3 hours or so, you're guaranteed that at this kind of control it would heat up within a very few minutes. But with all this contraption on, this will go for a long time before it's too hot. You'll probably find the motor gets hot before this becomes a problem, in which case you need to take a break anyway. So I hope you found that interesting. So you see at that level it's maximum speed. Speed it up, full voltage if you want, or you just remove it. There you go. You get perfect control this way.